I'm Jay. I'm the founder of Token Analyst, and we spend a lot of time looking at addresses on the blockchain. We're obsessed with it. We look at, all of you have an address, and you interact with the blockchain. So you transact, you buy CryptoKitties, you participate in prediction markets. So these are all different activities or features that you do on the blockchain, and we want to analyze this. So we're a team of engineers and machine learning scientists and data scientists. And so what we do is we take every address at scale and look at features of a given address. So what I mean by this is that we come up with these clusters on the blockchain that each have specific characteristics. So a cluster might have a bunch of send transactions, or it might have a certain kind of tokens that they hold, or they might interact with other addresses. So essentially, we use what's called an unsupervised clustering algorithm, and we create these blockchain clusters of addresses. The labels that you see on the top, the mining pool, exchange, centralized exchange, those actually don't exist, right? The blockchain's pseudonymous. So that kind of requires some sort of detective work. We go, scrape the web, go to Etherscan, people contribute, and so we're able to label these addresses. Kind of the goal of all of this stuff is, not to say that, hey, this address is you or this address is you. In general, it's to make the blockchain more transparent and accessible for everyone. So our end goal is to take the raw blockchain data and come up with kind of clean, classified, digestible transactions. So if you look at a transaction, you know that, okay, it was sent by like a trusted, good party to an exchange or vice versa. And this is what we've been working on for the last year or so. We take every address on Ethereum, we run it through our ML algorithms, and we see patterns and behaviors and what comes from it. And so, why is this interesting? There's many use cases for knowing contextual information about an address. So some use cases could be like Dapp developers want to learn more about their users. They want to know where a user is coming from, what other dApps that user used, just characteristics about that address without actually knowing its real identity. Or, AML KYC is becoming big. I used to work in fintech, so I'm very familiar with security tokens. So what's going to happen is the SEC is going to say that you can only interact with another address if you know that it's a trusted counterparty. So these are all reasons why it's important to get some sort of contextual data and information about addresses. But our business today, we mainly focus on institutional investors. So these are your crypto hedge funds, your whale traders, family offices. So I just wanted to kind of give you a look into their minds and like why they're interested in blockchain data, kind of metrics they look for, and then go over a little demo that we built. And so some of the questions that come up, this chart on the right is 19 of the most popular tokens, and this is kind of the ownership of the token. So, Gnosis, it's good. Like, I think the Gnosis team owns 85% of the token. But we all know this because we're in the dev community, but like someone who's on the outside, like an investor, someone asked us this, wait, why should I invest in this project? It's actually super centralized versus, some of the other ones. So like explaining to them that this is actually the team, there's like a vesting schedule, they'll deliver the tokens in a certain way is important. That's kind of one of the use cases of our data. Some other questions that come up are they want to know like how everyone's looking for like fundamental valuation metrics for crypto assets. So they want to know. I'm sure you might have read about like the MV equals PQ, the network transaction ratio or whatever is coming out. So these are things that we are trying to track and build for these investors to better understand these assets. Why knowing about addresses is important is because we want to discount like internal transactions that occur within exchanges. So we're trying to just look at true utility use cases or true users using an asset for its intended purpose. And just some other questions that we've had over the last years from investors have been, how is the volume flowing? Is it coming from OTC DEX, centralized exchanges, DEXs? What percent of tokens are held in cold storage? When will they be released? Where are the funds coming from? What's the geography? What are some of the transaction patterns? This is something that's out there. Like, what if a whale syndicate created a bunch of different addresses and took part in an ICO, and now they control 50% of the tokens? They could actually impact future governance of that project. So these are questions that people ask us and try to get us to figure out. And so to kind of help, this is just, I'm going to go through a quick demo that we built. So this is kind of a subset of Omise Go token transfers. And we start with the circles are addresses, and the lines are transactions between addresses. So this is like a map that we built from the ICO till today of different things that happen in the Omise Go ecosystem. This is very raw, but the next level is to draw insights from this sort of graph. The different colors are different clusters based on the machine learning stuff I was alluding to earlier. So for example, here, this is like an early ICO investor. These are potentially other investors that this person's interacted with. This label, early ICO investor, something that we just arbitrarily put on the thing. There's no right or wrong way to do it, but that's definitely an issue with this sort of analysis. You can look at transactions. So for example, we were able to look at a Bitrex. I think this is a Bitrex wallet. I don't have it up here, but sorry, yeah. So this was like an OTC desk that was transferring a bunch of tokens. So it's kind of the goal of this whole thing is to just build more transparency into the space. We're not trying to say this is you, this is you. Just on a holistic level, we want to know that the right type of people are participating in the space. It's not being used for drugs or money laundering. And it's also cool for token teams themselves to kind of take a deeper look into where their users are coming from, learn patterns about them. And it also, so we talk to institutional investors, Barclays, Morgan Stanley. These type of people want to get comfortable. If you want this institutional money to come into the space, they need to be comfortable. They have these risk scores and whatnot, and they need to know that what they're investing in is actually a decentralized asset that does what it says it does. And kind of our goal with Token Analyst is to just bring to light some of these nuances of the token market and token ecosystem. And yeah, I guess closing remarks. We have an API. You can query our addresses. So you can just put in an address, and our ML models will classify it as a human, bot, or exchange. It'll give you some features about the address, like how often it transacted, with what other addresses it transacted with, etc. So please check it out. Please give us some feedback, and thank you.